My name is Nyang Leon. I'm one of a kind. This is a boy who is very ambitious and is trying to get something off the sporting career that he's seen a chance at. All of a sudden, this road is blocked and he doesn't see a way through. I lost my dad when I was very young. But then it felt like the end. That was it. There was nothing. There was a full stop, and there was nothing past the full stop. It was depressing. It was crushing. I felt destroyed. Someone has taken my life and decided to end it while I'm still alive. So while at hospital, I remember I tried overdosing myself twice. There's one time I tried hanging myself at home. I had very few friends, 5, 6 at most. The light at the end of the tunnel was my mom. It's always been mom. It will always be mom. In the darkest of times, hope is something that you give yourself. There's no one coming to save you. It starts with you.
While physical performance has always been key to victory, some rugby players are highlighting a different aspect of health. A Kenya Harlequins player tackled mental health head-on. Nyang Leon hit low after a nasty injury.
My name is Nyang Leon with a double E, Odur.
Okay, sawa.
Nyang Leon off the field is a little boy from a little town called Moroni. Brought up in a family of 5. The son to a very humble teacher. I went through my primary in Moroni Success. I like identifying myself with where I'm from so much. Then I went through high school in St. Joseph School, Rapogi, boys. That's where I picked up rugby as a sport. My first sport was actually handball. I used to play handball. Badass player.
What made you change to rugby? Who introduced you to rugby?
Antonio Yugi. A very little man called Antonio Yugi in high school. When I was in Form 1, I used to play handball. I was the favorite because of the power and the speed. Then Anto recruited me one time when guys were going for halftime. And I think one of the wingers, that time when they were going for 7s, had hurt himself. So they told me, all we need of you, Leon, is to get the ball and run because you have the pace. So that's how I started playing rugby back in high school.
And today we're going to talk about, this story is more of mental health and what really happened to you, the injury, So I just want us to skip everything and dive into that day when the injury happened. So just take us through that day. What really happened? What was the event? Which team were you playing against?
This is a story that tracks back to high school. We were out for the district competitions, I think. We were playing against Kanga High School. That's when I had my first concussion. I didn't even know they were called that then. I just remember passing out for a while and being moved to some vehicle where I sat through until the game ended. That was my first fall. I fell head first while playing. Then took me time to recover. And the next time I had my second fall was when that was in 2016. So 2016 second term, when we were going for the 7th games, I had my second fall. This time I fell head first on somewhat of a stone. It used to be some hard rock in the middle of the field. So being a very fast player, guys, it was very difficult for guys to defend me then. So the guy tripped me and I fell head first, being at high pace. Then that is the second time I think I had my fall. Back then, we still didn't know what it was. Guys were just saying Leon has passed out. Or I never knew they used to be called concussions. But this time it was serious because I passed out for nearly hours and hours. So the teachers took me to Kisii, some private hospital in Kisii. I had an MRI and a CT scan done. There were abnormal readings, but the doctor said everything was well. But mom wasn't contented, so we went for further analysis. That was in 2016. So in 2017, that was my last year in high school. I still went back to playing because nobody was telling us what it was, as it was. So I played through, though I had difficulties because now I kept on having pass outs and all. So I played through the sevens. It's the year we broke records in high school. Our school was a very small school in Migori, and it was an extra county school. But that was the first year we competed to the regional levels in 15s and shocked Maseno. I think we drew. We drew with Maseno School in the 15s and finished third. Then in the sevens, we qualified for the nationals. So that was a set record. Then in 2017, when all was done, we were back from the nationals. We were preparing for our national exams. There's this was a vijana, ile outgoing and incoming in high school. So guys were playing. Then I just came from, I think we were from class, from revising. Then I decided to join. So while we were playing, I even had the Crocs on. In fact, I had my full uniform. I hadn't even changed. So one of the little guys saw Leon coming and same thing. Alieka mguu, nika trip. Then nikanguka on the same spot. I had my second fall. Then nikazima tu hivyo. So I woke up with complications and all. Then before I knew it, I missed my exams because I wasn't in a state of sitting for my exams. I had seizures. I could pass out for hours at the slightest pressure to my brain. And it became scary. So the fear and the stress was just causing more damage with time.
When it happened, you know, you are told that you'll be out for a while because of the surgery. You'll miss playing with your teammates and you'll miss your studies, you know. How did it feel?
Rex, do you know what the end feels like? Doc's actual line was, because we're not certain of what's going on with you, I don't think you'll ever play again. Picture telling that to a teenager who's, let me say, at the peak or approaching the peak of whatever he wants to do. So that then it felt like the end. That was it. There was nothing. There was a full stop, and there was nothing past the full stop. So I felt destroyed. Every time I used to talk to mom, I used to tell mom, I feel destroyed. I feel like someone has taken my life and decided to end it while I'm still alive. So it was depressing, it was crushing. And the fact that there was no one to tell me then that, Leon, you know what? It's okay. Everyone there at that point was, Leon, don't worry. I'm already worried. But there was no one to tell me it's okay.
How long did it take for you to accept the situation?
2 years. Took me 2 years because this happened in 2017. And when I got stable enough was in 2019. I think 2018, 2019. And between that time, there had been no highs. Everything I tried doing kept taking me under. I was the villain because nobody understood the fact that I was trying to rise above this. So everything I did, and it turned out worse, it kept sinking me under and under and under. So not listening to my doctor, to not listening to mom, to trying to go back to something that is literally trying to kill me. I was the villain of the story then. I was the victim and I was the villain.
Constantly knowing that you couldn't train or play with your fellow teammates, you could just watch them from the outside. How did it feel? Did you ever feel like you're falling behind the school?
Yeah, I felt left out because I could see the young talent we had been with in 2017. I remember big names: Geoffrey Okoach, Matoka. Yeah, Matoka is actually he used to be my desk mate in primary school. So those are guys you are with at the nationals in 2017. 2 years later, I'm seeing these guys getting a shot at the shot with the national team. And these are guys, I'd say, if not the same level, we were some great talent with them back 2 years ago. So I really used to feel so bad that this is somewhere I'd picture myself in 2 years ago. But I'm seeing guys I was with there, and I can do nothing about it to be with them. I remember then, there's a time when Matoka, when for Matoka to join Strathmore, we were with Matoka at Strathmore that day one, that we went for training at Strathmore. That is after the injury and all, that is in 2019. I went to Strathmore and I tried training. I remember nilingia game, and the first ball that was kicked, nika knock. And everybody looked at me as in, hey, umse anakaa mbaya, lakini vile amenock your ball, anaweza cheza rugby kweli. So watching doubts in the eyes of the guys was, I felt, by the way, there's no moment, I think this is the first time I'm mentioning this, there's no moment I felt so broken like my first time training after there was that long period in Strathmore then. Because after hapo nakumbuka nilitoka, nikajaribu kwenda gym. Hiyo day sijui nili overdo deadlift ama sijui ilikuwa nini. Mgongo ikapuli. Hiyo tena ilikuwa another long 3 months na crutches. So watching guys grow and I was stuck was another low moment. And there was no one to tell me, Leon, it's gonna be okay. No, everybody was saying, Leon, you know what? Stop doing this. Stop doing this. Kila mtu alikuwa anataka tu ni stop. Hakuna mtu alikuwa ananiambia saa stop and take this direction.
You know, that was a new normal. Rehab, you have to get better. Physio, medicine. How was it for you, Leon?
That was the craziest ping pong I think I'll ever play. The medication bit was really annoying. Imagine constantly taking drugs in the morning and in the evening, every day for 5 years. Kuna tu dawa 4 ama 5 na meza kila siku. It used to be crazy. At first the rehab, the physio bit, most of the psychotherapy was really annoying. But with time, when I started seeing the essence of it, I got the hang of it and I started loving it. Because it meant I was getting better and I could see, not necessarily physically, but how I thought of things, how I saw things, how I judged things. All that really changed, and I started seeing transition in how I was handling whatever situation that was. So at the beginning, it was something very awful, but with time, I started picking it and seeing the positive side, and it turned out really helpful.
And I also understand at some point you got tired, you know. Was there any time you tried rushing your treatment? Like maybe you wanted to, you lifted heavier weights, you took more meds rather than taking slow and letting your body heal. Like you wanted your body to heal fast. Was there a time you rushed your treatment and recovery?
Yeah, I think that was the biggest problem. Throughout all this, that was the biggest problem. There was a time I wasn't really patient. There was a time at the slightest chance of me seeing progress, I'd jump, I'd skip, I'd leave this step and I'd leave step 1 and step on step 10. That was basically gym, medication. There are times 1 tablet was never enough because, guy, Leo, I've done this. Why can't I take 10 and it will be better tomorrow? So, yeah, I won't say it was being primitive or dumb, but yeah, lack of knowledge of what was going on. That was one thing. The impatience, that was another thing. But yeah, there are several times I tried rushing it. There is this time, I went to Strathmore. I think I've never said this story before. That's the saddest bit. When I was trying to get back into play, I went to Strathmore. We reported there with Matoka and Jojo Bala. Guys really wanted, we are just from high school, we want to join the big leagues. And at the first kick of the ball, I knocked the ball and all the faces around me could show me judgment. So I was like, wow, okay, maybe I'm not the baddest kid I used to be. So what? But then, sikujua vile hiyo story ilinihit vibaya because I remember from then, I tried going to the gym, tried lifting very heavy. Then things went south again for a very long time. Then I think that's the time I actually overdosed again. Vitu zikakuwa worse. So every time I tried something, I ended up being the villain. Just some more. This whole story ilikuwa ni kujaribu na kuharibu. So it was crazy, it was sick.
You were going through a lot at that time. I'm sure you developed anger issues. You also felt a lot of pain other than just the physical pain. Kuna ile emotional pain, you know. Did you develop any habits to cope with that pain? You know, some people will opt to start drinking alcohol. Others will cut themselves. Others will start burning themselves. What was your escape? How did you escape the pain?
Withdrawal, I think. Funny enough, I wasn't allowed to take alcohol, doctor's orders, or any hard substances then. So I've been clean for a while. Still clean, but my seizures, I've told you I used to have violent seizures. So I withdrew from my friends. I cut off guys because there's this particular judgment you could see in people's eyes. I don't know why. So cutting myself off meant I'd be in my own thoughts a lot of times. And that is what the doctor didn't want, because remember, the whole problem here was in my brain. So any small pressure, any small frustrations, any small stress would mean a stoop, a bad thing. So I used to have violent seizures. I don't know how I can explain it. You see, the moment I'm having the seizure attack, and let me say the trigger was noise, I'd go violent. If I was asleep, I'd punch through things. Several times I punched through glass. I remember I had the blisters on for a while. I would run. There's actually a time I threw myself while we were in 2018. I remember jumping off a 3-storied dormitory. Crazy story. Yeah, such things would happen. So the frustrations were articulating to something psychological, and it was affecting me through the attacks. So the withdrawing myself from guys, being alone most of the time, I think that was my best way of coping with it. But I also got into writing. That's something I learned from my doctor and my mom. I'd pen down my frustrations, and for everyone who reads my stories, people know that I articulate my pain or my joy through what I pen down. Yeah.
You've just said that you you went to a story building. Ukienda pale juu ulijirusha chini.
We were on a break. I think it was tea break. So it was a normal day. Leon could not stay in class for long, so nilikuwa nimesoma tu hapo kwa balcony na crutches. I don't even remember what I was doing there. But what I remember is minutes after that, I was on the ground on Ray's foot, and I was shaking and fidgeting. Next minute nilikuwa sanatorium. But nikiamka nilikuwa naambiwa, "Bado hujavunjika hata kitu moja, hata kidole hujavunjika." So sometimes I sit back, look back, and thank God, because things used to happen.
What took you up there?
I don't remember. I didn't want to be. Remember, this is someone who's missed his exams and is back to school. Being high school, people will look at you some type of way. So I had very few friends, 5, 6 at most. And that time I remember we even formed an a cappella band, because music had a way of soothing me. I love singing. So we'd sing. Sometimes they'd be in class because our people walifaa prepare for exams. So I'd be alone. So hizo time ningesegregate thoughts zangu zikinibit. Hizo ndio time nilikuwa na attacks. So I think that was just one of those moments. I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Then when I had the attack, I think nilitopple over. Hata mimi najulizanga kujirusha tu. Okay, maybe nilijirusha, but
That was a suicidal attempt, right?
Yeah.
And I also understand that you had 6 suicidal attempts in a span of 1 month. I don't know how I'm going to say that, but I just want you to take me through those 6 attempts. How did you do it? What was going through your mind at that moment? Sanyang, 6 is a lot. In 1 month, it's a lot.
Okay, let me put it like this. This is a boy who's very ambitious and is trying to get something off the sporting career that he's seen a chance at. So all of a sudden, this road is blocked and he doesn't see a way through. So being that all my opportunities then that I had in mind were cut short, I didn't see much for me then. So when I had my first fall, when all these happened, and I think the worst bit was missing my exams. I think that was the craziest. Before even I come to the opportunities, hakuna kitu ilikuwa inaniuma kama miss my national exams. I felt that I owed mom that much, and now that I had let her down, then nilikuwa na feel like there's no need of me being here. 2, my mom, we are not the richest of families. So seeing my mom struggle with all that of a hospital bill, yet he has other kids like people used to say, was also another frustrating factor. So at that moment, mimi kwangu, the easiest way was giving mom an easy way through. Najua kuna mtu angeifanya, nilikuwa naona ni kama mimi nikifanya kuna mtu atasikia vibaya, juu mimi nitaenda. So watu watabaki hapa 2-3 days alafu ishe. So while at hospital, I remember I tried overdosing myself twice on 2 attempts. The drip thing. Yo down nilikuwa naekewa was to get into my bloodstream pole pole, but I'd push it all the way up. Then there's one time I tried hanging myself at home. There's one time I just left the house and walked, you know the distance from Moroni to Airo Junction, how far it is. It's like walking from Nairobi CBD to Athi River.
That's like 20 to 30 kilometers.
Na huko ni
When mgonjwa lakini una nguvu mwanangu.
Na huko ni kichaka. So you see, when I used to have my attacks, ninge give up some abnormal strength or something. So hata mimi sikumbuki hiyo distance. Mimi nakumbuka tu nilifikia huko, and by the time akina mama were getting me, nilikuwa kwa some, you remember the teacher that used to house me? Alikuwa anaitwa Madam Babu. Nilikuwa kwake, and that is in Migori. That is how akina mama found me. Hiyo time walikuwa wamenitafuta from 7 am mpaka 9 usiku. Then there's a time I overdosed myself while I was at my uncle's place here in Nairobi. I think that was the worst. Because that time I took...
What pushed you to do that?
Frustrations.
To overdose yourself?
Frustrations, Rex. Nilikuwa na feel, literally. I think even to date, bado mi ukuwa na hiyo feeling. But ni vile siku hizi najua kuimanage. Nilikuwa na feel, as in, hiyo swali ya what next. Haina jibu na inaniuma. As in, what next? Na singeweza ijibu mimi mwenyewe. Na kuna mtu ningeweza uliza, what next? So ilikuwa inani suffocate, ilikuwa inani beat up. Then by the time na realize, ilikuwa nimefanya something stupid.
And what is it that you really wanted to happen at that moment? I mean, when you decide to, when you want to take your life, at that moment, unataka nini differently happen?
Nilikuwa nataka kurudi kucheza. I think for the longest time, till maybe last year, rugby topped my list. In every single thing I used to do. Rugby. Nilikuwa na focus na studies. Mimi mamangu, by then, I used to respect my mom so much because nilikuwa naona struggle to get us through. So nilikuwa na make sure nafanya class, nafanya exam, namaliza, namtumia results vile ziko. Ananiambia wewe need to work on. Nikishamalizana naye nakuja kwa yangu. Na mimi yangu ilikuwa tu rugby. Because when I was in high school, because of the speed and all, I never even used to know about the sports. I used to play handball. So when my friends started, you know, Leon, you play like this, they nicknamed me Kolo, Injera. So when I came back home, your time nilikuwa na
This one Kolo? This one Kolo?
For the longest time, I wanted to meet Kolo, by the way. Literally, I just wanted to come meet Kolo and greet him. And I think I got the chance. Hiyo 2019. Nilienda kuwatch game flani ya kulabu, then nikakimbia nikamsalimia. I felt so nice.
Is there a way Kolo is inspiring you? Inspired you at that time?
Yeah, Kolo and Oscar Uma. I'm actually grateful I had the chance to play with Oscar while I was in Nakuru, and he got to coach me. And I even got to, nilikuwa narudingi shule naambia wase, you know what guys? I used to want to play with this guy.
Anyway.
Bana kila day jioni 4 niko na grau tuna train. Hiyo excitement ilikuwa inanimaliza. So away from the field, I liked how Oscar and Kolo carried themselves out. I think that was the biggest plus for me looking up to them. Then another thing with Kolo was his pace, his style of play and his pace. I used to tell myself, I can run like this guy. I just need to get these small skills. Ya vile ana handle ball and all. And mazi, I can be like this guy. But hizo ni vitu zote zilienda down the drain. Na story tu kidogo ya concussion na kuilenga.
I hope Kolo is watching, and big shout out to him. I want you to read that quote that I sent you because of the next question that because of what I'm about to ask. Just read the quote again that I sent.
So the quote says, and once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure whether the storm is really over. But one thing is certain. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. That is what the storm is all about.
All right, that's what this storm is all about, Sanyang. Now, it's a positive quote, and I just want you to tell me, how did you cope with the negative thoughts that you used to have? You know, they say that you stick to that light at the end of the tunnel. What was your light at the end of the tunnel during that period?
My light at the end of the tunnel was my mom. It's always been mom. It will always be mom. Because, like I said, it used to beat me how mom would stick with me through all this. Yeah, this is a parent struggling, a single parent. But wewe mtoto mmoja mwenye kifo inakuchungulia na unampea stress. She's so positive and she's doing. Mom used to be called late in the night while I was in school in 2018. Late in the night, Leon has had an attack, mom. Tufanye aje. And mom would come to school. Remember all this time, Bella and Austin are in primary and they're at home and they're just with mom. But mom angekuja shule, atafute ambulance, nipelekwe Kisumu, and I'd come back. So mom has always been my light at the end of the tunnel. Mom taught me how to pray. There's a time, by the way, vitu zilikuwa mbaya di nikaeka God kando. But mom told me, son, I don't even need you to close your eyes. You know, God is everywhere. God is even looking at you right now. Talk to him. And that's how I pray, Rex. Me, by the way, when I'm giving thanks to God, I just talk to God. I just humble myself and talk to God. Mom taught me how to be grateful. Mom told me, you know, everything is not going your way, but you are here. Then that counts for something. Be grateful for that. So mom taught me how to appreciate the small things. Mom taught me that sense of appreciating the small things that I did. Taught me how to give back. I had something in me. Sikuwa nimeisha. Hata kama singeweza cheza, nilikuwa na knowledge about rugby. Macu, there's a time I took up coaching as a joke. I just said, these boys, I want a coach. Egerton, I want a coach. And they were a smart lot because hapo ndio rugby yangu ilianza ku chip back up. So nilisema tu, mimi ni msee wa social media. I'll go look up things and the little knowledge I had from Nakuru, nitakuja ni come up na something na tutacheza rugby. Hiyo time kulikuwa na si wazi vijana, inaitwa Varsity League. That was when Varsity League ilirudi kuza kizazi. So my whole idea then was to use sports as a way to champion for mental health. Hapo ndo tukakama up na hiyo story ya mind fiti game fiti. You know? So I would see a lot of guys struggle around campus na story na most of drugs na frustrations za fee. Then it just brought me back na hiyo story ya mom ya learn to give back. So that's how I stayed in the game and I stayed a student of the game while I was teaching it. So that was the light at the end of the tunnel. Every time I gave back, I felt like a part of me grew and I loved it.
Wow. That's beautiful. Big shout out to your mom. And say hi to your mom for me.
Hi, Mom. Mom, I'm on TV.
Say hi to your mom. And big shout out to all the mothers out there doing amazing job. Now, during that time, what is it that you learned about yourself?
Young Leon.
Young Leon.
I always tell guys, I'm one of a kind. I'm the only child who has two animal names. Nyang in my mother tongue means a crocodile.
Ah, which language is that? Which tribe is
Luo.
that? Crocodile. Nyang is a crocodile.
Yes.
Okay.
And the Leon is Leo, a lion. So looking at the attributes of these two animals, I used to draw my strength from the two. I lost my dad when I was very young. Form 2 is very young. I lost my dad when I was very young. So I've grown up with my mom. So all this came around and taught me that I was a very patient soul. I just didn't know it. I had the power of manipulating and manifesting patience. And a lot can come from patience. I think patience is like a root. It can sprout out a lot. So once I learned how to yield that power of patience, I ended up discovering that I could touch lives in so many ways. I know many don't know this, but I am one person who people face a lot for word of advice. In fact, my friends usually make fun of me of the things I write on my status. The small quotes and the small, how do you call them? Inspirations, and motivations. Yeah. Guys make fun. I know of a couple of guys who make fun of it and call me several names. But it never really gets to me because it's me who knows what kind of a difference it makes on the guys who view those.
Do you think it makes a difference?
Yes. I believe so because counting the number of guys I interact with every day and the number of guys who come and talk to me about things as simple as Leon, I can't manage my time in class, in school. Leon, story na sherehe in a New West. Leon, home kuko hivi na hivi. And sometimes I tell them, all you have to do is be patient with yourself. All you have to do is be kind to yourself. All you have to do is listen. So those are the little things I discovered about myself during this period.
Now,
After all that, after after all that, after leaving high school, I came to Egerton. I played for Egerton for some time. I didn't finish one season though. I again had another fall. I kept having falls mid games, and it kept causing more problems. More concussions meant more problems. So there's a period in Egerton I took a break. Then when I started getting back again, as usual, defying the doctor, I was scouted with Nakuru RFC. So I went to Nakuru under coach Simon and Simon Kariuki. No. For Nakuru. Under coach Simon, coach Festo, I stabilized as a fullback. So it went on. I played for Nakuru for some time. Then I remember after that, I had another fall while we were playing. We were in Kisumu during the 7. That was my first time ever playing the 7 circuit. That's something I wanted to do. So we were at Dallas Sevens. I remember we were playing Impala. Then it was the last play. It was a do or die because we had to win. Gave a very fancy offload to Ojuang. But landed on the wrong side again. Had a very nasty fall.
Again.
Actually, Leo tena nili. I remember it was on a Sunday. I had exams on Monday. Nikaanguka, nikamkia Avenue. The same hospital nilikuwa napelekwa. Nikasema hapana. Hata msipigie mama. Mnitoe tu kwa kitanda, mnipeleke shule niko na exams kesho. Because there's nothing I feared like missing exams again. So walini resuscitate wakaniangalia. I traveled back. And from hapo Nakuru niliona tu yo fear kwa macho ya kila msee. Leon, you know what? Stop this. This is enough. You've had enough. So your time, being that now I could understand what's going on, nikasema acha nijipe break. So I went back for the usual therapies na checkups na doc. Na medication ikarudi, full swing vile ilikuwa. So ilikuwa tu ni mimi na classes sasa. So that's the point. Nilikuwa naenda shule, nasema sasa hii team sinaweza tuenda hapa na nijibambe nao wase. So I could see people train but I couldn't play. So with the season that was coming up, I decided to coach in school. Nika coach varsity, very interesting. Tukashinda kusa 7th title ya Meru, national 7th. Nikapata recognition na DVC na Dean. Kasema so there's something more to this than just playing. Then just my random days I was journaling, then nikasema hapana. I felt like there was something in me. There was still so much fight left in me. I could not just do that. So I texted Doc, nikamwambia Doc, by the way I want to play. And I'm serious, I want to play. Can I start training again? Akaniambia hapana. If you want to, you'll have to come tufanye test tuone. So I went nikafanyiwa MRI na EEG. And the next time akaniambia you can start lifting but don't go so heavy and don't get to contact. As usual, I wouldn't listen to that. I just started lifting pole. So I worked on myself. At the last 10s that was played after a very long time. I went back to Nakuru and I told them, you know what guys, Doc, I'm in clear, I want to play. But walikata. Siko ubaya, niliwaelewa because, you know, life. But I felt so sad that hawakunipea a chance. But nilisema it's okay. After all, coaching ilikuwa imeanza kushape up for me so well. You know? So I tried getting a gig with Nakuru. Kuna time walinipea story ya media. I was helping them handling their social media. Which was very good, and I'm very grateful to Moseti and Hila. Then from hapo, I was done with school now. Nakuru nilikuwa basically for studies. So when I got my attachment in Konza is in Machakos, I was with my brother in Athi River. So nikasema, because I'm going to Nairobi, maybe it's time I try something new, a new club. Maybe I'd get a new opportunity. Maybe things would take a different turn. So I don't know if you all know Richel Wangila. Wangila used to be a rookie when I was in Form 4. He was at Maseno. And me, I've always wanted to play with my friends. When you see Eric Cantona, Brian Ayimba, hakuna place imepita yenye. Mimi nikipatanga opportunity kucheza na my friends, I do. And I enjoy it. Because there are people I've seen play. There are people I enjoy seeing play. There are people I know their style of playing. So when I remembered, Richie has been in this crew. So I texted Richie and told Richie, you know what? Nataka kuja Queens. Akaniambia Leon come. Kwanza 7 is just about the corner. You speed yako, we'll need it. We kuja tucheze. And I was very happy because I was like, I said I wanted to play with my friends and this is a chance. So nikakuja tu, kuna dali niambia kuna test, nikakuja nikafanya the test. Kufika Saturday, kufika Monday ama sijui ilikuwa Tuesday, I saw Amon and I was like, hey, this is a big name. Nikaona Onzere. Nikaanza kuona names I used to see on social media and I was getting excited saying, God, thank you. You know, this is that chance I got and it's here. So that's how I settled with Queens. Ulikuwa na mvutano kidogo. They didn't know my story then. So when Nakuru saw me, sikuwaambia Nakuru na move. So when they saw me training, wakaanza kuleta nuksi kidogo. I had to get documents from my doctor. Ndio nikubaliwe nicheze. I actually missed out on Dala. Kiangalia scores, I didn't travel to Dala. Ilienda Driftwood because walikuwa wamekataa siwezi cheza. So the coaches were mindful enough, Coach Pawin, Coach Saimo kaniambia, Leon, to be on the safe side, just make sure you have documents from the doc. And that was it. Nika settle in and I've been enjoying every bit of being a part of a Queen. I've been following up on their projects, what they say, what they write down. I think what they should do is articulate it more and actualize it. They have very good plans. But I think management, mental health management, among its players, on players, with players, is still not at its best. Because personally, I've interacted with players from Queens to other teams because guys talk. So guys are friends across teams. And guys have, away from injuries, guys have small frustrations that need to be highlighted. They need to be heard. And Rex, in the world that you are today, people joke about everything. But people don't actually get how those small things can damage so much. I usually say words cut so deep. Also when you're a good listener, there's someone who will hear you, but there's someone who will listen to you. When you take your time and listen to most of these players talk, many of these guys are broken. And it's not about the game. In fact, they come to find peace in the game. And that's why people will tap the badge, no matter how much a club is struggling. Someone will tap the badge and play. Because the sport is something that makes him find peace from all that is going on around him. And I think that's something that should be considered, that wellness of a player. Yeah. So the union has good stats on this, but they need to start actualizing these projects and get them running. Because itafika time, hii sport, watu watakuwa naicheza ni kama, sijui hata nipeane example na nini. Ni kama tunaenda walk Karura. And that won't be it for our sport. My favorite line to guys is, in the darkest of times, hope is something that you give yourself. There's no one coming to save you. It starts with you. And that's the actual meaning of inner strength. You can lift all the weights you want. You can have all the money you want. But if it doesn't come from within you, then hope is not something that is given. Hope is something that you give yourself. And I think getting that lesson personally, the last 6-7 months has really been.
Keep fighting, keep going, because as dark as it gets, I promise you, there's somebody in your life that loves you, supports you, and will help you get out of the situation. So stay positive.